great looking-glass above the sideboard reflects the table and the company. Reflects the new Veneering crest, in gold and eke in silver, frosted and also thawed, a camel of all work. The Herald's College found out a crusading ancestor for Veneering, who bore a camel on his shield, or might have done if he had thought of it, and a caravan of camels take charge of the fruits and flowers and candles, and kneel down to be loaded with the salt. Reflects Veneering, 40, wavy-haired, dark, tending to corpulence, sly, mysterious, filmy, a kind of sufficiently well-looking veiled prophet, not prophesying. Reflects Mrs. Veneering, fair, aquiline-nosed and fingered, not so much light hair as she might have, gorgeous in raiment and jewels, enthusiastic, propitiatory, conscious that a corner of her husband's veil is over herself. Reflects Podsnap, prosperously feeding, two little light-colored wiry wings, one on either side of his else bald head, looking as like his hairbrushes as his hair, dissolving view of red beads on his forehead, large allowance of crumpled shirt collar up behind. Reflects Mrs. Podsnap, fine woman for Professor Owen, quantity of bone, neck, and nostril, like a rocking horse, hard features, majestic headdress, in which Podsnap has hung golden offerings. Reflects Twemlow, grey, dry, polite, susceptible to east wind. First gentleman in Europe collar and cravat, cheeks drawn in as he has made a great effort to retire into himself some years ago, and had got so far and had never got any further. Reflects mature young lady, raven locks, and complexion that lights up well when well powdered, as it is, carrying on considerably in the captivation of mature young gentlemen, with too much nose in his face, too much ginger in his whiskers, too much torso in his waistcoat, too much sparkle in his studs, his eyes, his buttons, his talk, and his teeth. Reflects charming old Lady Tippins on Veneering's right, with an immense, obtuse, drab, oblong face, like a face in a tablespoon, and a dyed long walk up the top of her head as a convenient public approach to the bunch of false hair behind. Pleased to patronize Mrs. Veneering opposite, who is pleased to be patronized. Reflects a certain Mortimer, another of Veneering's oldest friends, who never was in the house before, and appears not to want to come again, who sits disconsolate on Mrs. Veneering's left, and who was inveigled by Lady Tippins, a friend of his boyhood, come to these peoples and talk, and who won't talk. Reflects Eugene, friend of Mortimer, buried alive in the back of his chair, behind a shoulder, with a powder epaulette on it, of the mature young lady, and gloomily resorting to the champagne chalice whenever proffered by the analytical chemist. Lastly, the looking-glass reflects Boots and Brewer, and two other stuffed buffers, interposed between the rest of the company and possible accidents.